Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ IS English channel. Just give me a second. So, my name is Shubham Sagar and today we'll do Hindu analysis of 9th July 2025 and I was not well yesterday and we will cover the important articles which was there in yesterday, and you know the pattern. What happens in Hindu? Articles gets, like, if it's an important article, it will be repeated, right? So good morning Jeevayan, Anandu, Jesh, Mamta, Amal, Shriparna, Anuj, everyone. So let's start with the first article of the day of 9th July 2025. And for people who keep on asking in the comment section and live chat, where will I upload this PDF? So you will get this particular Hindu analysis PDF by 10:30 a.m. every day in this Telegram channel, that is Fun Study with Shubh, which is, study should be fun. So let's start with the editorial, which is there on page number 8. And this editorial is talking about a particular scheme. So scheme, very important from, like GS Mains Paper 2. So there is a new scheme which is RDI scheme, Research Development and Innovation Scheme. So whenever we talk about R&D in India, research and development, we basically focus on the D part, we ignore the R part. Research is very much undermined. If I tell you my personal experience, I was there in Samsung R&D, that is Samsung Research and Development, which was initially SISC. The office is currently in Sector 126, Noida. I don't know what D I did, like what R I did rather, research. I was in hotel TV domain. So our research is undermined to a greater extent when it comes to research development in India. R, especially the research part, is ignored. And even when we talk about the R part, I'm good, Shriparna, thank you for asking. Good morning, Priya. Good morning, Shashmita. Good morning, everyone. So when we talk about the research part, the funding part, more than 70% of the funding, around 70% of the funding for the research part comes from government. Government wants to undo this. That's why they have brought this particular scheme, which is RDI scheme. In this, what will happen? Currently, let's say, if 100 rupees goes to research, 70 comes from government. That will be in a way reversed. Now 70 rupees will come from private sector, and all these things will be pooled under a foundation which is known as Anushandhan National Research Foundation. So government has created a repository which will look into the funds which are coming for research and development. This fund will be coming from private sector. Let's say 100 rupees coming to this particular fund, 70 rupees will come from private sector, which is totally opposite to what is happening right now. 100 rupees going into research, and if you're talking about the research fund, 70 coming from public sector. So that will be changed. So it looks like a very, very revolutionary scheme. When we are talking about RDI scheme, then we'll talk about the con part of it. What are the different? I'm very good, Jeevayan. Yesterday, some days, there will be some days when you will not want to see book, PDF, etc. And Hindu, etc., it drains you a lot, you are researching on different topics. So yesterday was one such day for me where I was completely drained. I had no energy at all. So, okay, let's talk about this particular scheme there in the editorial. 1 lakh crore Research Development and Innovation Scheme. Very important from science and tech perspective also. Very important from GS2 scheme perspective as well. Health, what happened to you, sir? I just told you, Shashmita. So, let's focus on this scheme. Important scheme. ANRF as fund custodian. We have discussed here what is happening currently. 100 rupees for research, 70 coming from government. So now 70 will come from private. The scheme will operate through a special fund housed within ANRF, Anushandhan National Research Foundation. They will disperse fund. Different private sector, you have the CSR, corporate social responsibility. You have different mechanism by which private sector will contribute to this particular fund for research, and this will be pooled to different sources. Now there are different terms here. NASA will be involved in this article. In what way? We will have a discussion at that. So again, role of ANRF. ANRF is a newly created independent institution under Science Ministry. They can always change the ministry. They will say that this particular Anusandhan National Research Foundation is created under Education Ministry. So keep a tab on it. Science and Technology Ministry, that is the nodal ministry of ANRF. PPP, Public-Private Partnership. Very good, Shashmita. It aims to serve as a single window mechanism for funding research in universities and academic institutions. Now, there will be some technical words like TRL4, and we have to understand it. There will be certain diagrams for making you understand what is this TRL4. We'll go there. Let's go one by one. Funding structure, ANRF, what it is doing? It will be pooling all the funds which is coming for research. It is expected to receive about 70% of its funding from private sources. Currently, what is happening? If we are reiterating the same point, that means that particular point is important. Currently, 70% funding coming from public sources. This particular scheme wants to undo that, or in a way, oh my God. in a way, they want to reverse that. Government's goal, the initiative aims to shift India's R&D funding landscape by reversing the current trend where 70% R&D funding comes from government. Now what will happen? 70% will come from private sector. So everything looks very hunky-dory about this particular scheme. What can be the issue with this particular scheme? Let me mute my phone. The issue is, we'll discuss the issue. See, who will be eligible? So let's say you are an IITN, you are an NITN, you are working in or you're studying in IISc, IIST. Some innovation came in your mind, some new idea came in your mind. So it's not like you started implementing that idea inside IT Madras or any IT Bombay, IT Kanpur. It's not like government will start funding you, ANRF will start funding you. The funding will start from TRL4. Now, let's go slowly. What is TRL4? This whole thing, TRL concept, is a concept developed by NASA. Technology Readiness Level. Let's try to understand it. So let's say you are an IT Kanpur student. You got an idea, you are developing it. So initially when you are developing it, you are under from like TRL1 to TRL3 level, basic technology research. You're researching on that project, you're studying something, you're coding, doing coding, C, C++, Java, anything. So you are in TR1, TR2, TR3 level. And when it feels like, no, there is a market feasibility of this particular research of mine, then you will enter into TRL4 and from there you will go on and on. So this funding under ANRF and this funding under this RDI scheme will start from TRL4. So this is one criticism. The people who are starting research from, let's say, TR1 level, you will not directly jump to TRL4. So the basic criticism of this RDI scheme is, I was in hospital since last 4, so I don't know what happened since last 4 days. Revise all the things, Shashmita. Let's focus here. So please understand one thing. If Shashmita, Shayada, GY and other people, Priya, etc., they started researching on a particular aspect, you will not get the funding. You will get the funding from TRL4 level only. A key concern is that requirement, like that only projects at technology readiness level 4 or above are eligible. You can also understand it this way. You are researching on a project, then you have sent your research to somebody, they approve it, then it was sent to somebody else. After 2-3 level, if it is going at the 4th level, then you will get the money under this ANRF and RDI scheme. So that is a criticism. We are not promoting research from the grassroots level. If this particular RDI scheme has given money from TRL1 level, then maybe research would have been promoted at the grassroots level. Many of you, like many of UPSC aspirants, they may have went into the research sector because they feel like government will support us from the base level. But again, the next rationale is, anybody can come and they're like, no, I have this particular idea and I want to make lichet papad or I want to make, achar and all those stuff. So government has a TRL4 means your research has some value. It has reached some level. It has got some approval. We are seeing some market feasibility of it. So that's why government has given approval from TRL4 level. Hope you are understanding. So there is a pro and con involved with both the rationale. A key concern is the requirement that only projects at technology readiness level 4 or above are eligible. TR4 refers to mid-stage development, which critics argue may arbitrarily exclude early stage innovation, which we are discussing here. What have you written, Rishi, in this language? Chepandi, Chepu Telsu Ledu. So TRL1 to TRL9, this whole TRL concept, technology readiness level concept, has been given by NASA in 1970s. TRL9 means you are at the highest level. Now it has been implemented to a greater degree. Okay, sir. Just remember this. You don't need to do PhD on this TRL1 to TRL9. Venture capital comparison. The scheme assumes that it can predict successful research outcomes. Even if you are giving funding from TRL4 level, it's not a guarantee that TRL4 will reach TRL9, successful operation. It's very unpredictable, this research market. It's all hit and fail. The fail ratio is higher, obviously. So a challenge that even venture capital firms grapple with. So what this particular point is saying, even if government start giving funding from TRL4 level, there is no guarantee that that particular scheme will or that particular research will succeed, thereby wasting governments and RDI schemes money. So that is one point. Good morning, Rishi. So ignoring global precedent, the scheme overlooks how countries, now here the example is different countries like US, pioneer in when it comes to R&D research. So what they did, they started investment in military industrial complexes. They started investment in, let's say, internet, GPS, etc., global positioning system, which was later on used for civilian purpose. So Indian government could have done the same. They should promote more investment in defense, etc., indigenous investment. We do that. We have started doing that. We have talked about, INS Udaygiri versus INS Kamal in one of the previous Hindu analysis, where we have talked about INS Udaygiri is ours, indigenous. INS Kamal was made with Russian cooperation. So we are doing a lot in military research, but we can do some more. That is what this article is saying. This whole thing, RDI scheme, 70% fund coming from private sector, that's all fine. But we have to, our government has to keep on investing in military industry complexes or those kind of concepts like internet GPS, which can later be transferred for civilian purposes. You know, Rush, good morning, sir. Huge fan of you from Hyderabad. Thank you, Priya. Thank you so much. You made my morning. So, brain drain issue. India continues to lose talent scientists to other countries due to lack of domestic opportunities matching their expertise. There's one more point which has been given in this editorial where they talk about something that, the basic problem we have with R&D is our manufacturing sector is not developed. In the previous Hindu analysis, we have discussed this. Primary, secondary, tertiary sector, primary agriculture, mining, secondary is manufacturing majorly, tertiary is transportation and communication. In general, development happens like a country moves from primary to secondary to tertiary. In our case, India's case, we have jumped from primary to tertiary, thereby undermining secondary sector to a greater extent. Our manufacturing sector is undermined, and the editorial is saying until or unless we focus on our manufacturing sector, all these kind of scheme, RDI, this and that will not play a crucial role. Because why are you doing research? So that you can use it in manufacturing sector. If your manufacturing sector is underdeveloped, how come these research will make any difference? So first of all, focus on your manufacturing sector. Try to develop your manufacturing sector. Then only you can use these research in these manufacturing sector. So this is one criticism levied in this particular article or stated in this particular editorial, so to say. I know normally Russian and French, Italian only. I also know Telugu. Chepandi, chepu telsu ledu, kadu. Okay. So this is the part we are talking about, manufacturing gap. India lacks a strong skilled manufacturing sector to bring scientific ideas to fruition. You are giving money to research, but you don't have manufacturing sector to take full use of it, develop it. A fundamental issue the RDI scheme does not address. Skepticism. The article suggests that while budget allocations are significant, it is good. 1 lakh crore, good amount. They cannot solve deep-rooted structural issues. So we have to focus on manufacturing sector. We have to bring more and more, schemes, so to say, or something else. Government has to do something focusing on or catering to manufacturing sector. Okay, let's focus here. Now, first MCQ of the day. Consider the following statement regarding RDI scheme. Yes, we have more unemployment because our manufacturing sector is not developed to a greater extent. Okay. So RDI scheme aims to enhance private sector participation in basic research. The scheme provides grants to provide private companies for early stage research, TRL 1 to 3. The funds under RDI scheme will be managed by Anusandhan National Research Foundation. This particular editorial important from both GS2 mains and GS3. GS2 schemes, GS3 science and tech. So Shashmita, Abhay, Shriparna, Amal, Anandu, Swastika, Rishi, Mamta, money is sanctioned but implementation isn't proficient. Exactly. So what is the answer? RDI scheme aims to enhance private sector. Correct. Second is wrong. TRL 4 onwards they will give the funding. So second is wrong. If second is wrong, just eliminate second and you're getting the answer. That is D, 1 and 3 only. Very good. Okay. MCQ 2. Which of the following is our major concern associated with RDI scheme as highlighted in the expert critiques or editorial? Am I audible properly? Is there any kitch, pitch in my voice? Okay. So scheme excludes early stage research projects below TRL 4. That is correct. So if first is correct, eliminate C option. India lacks a strong manufacturing base to support advanced research outcomes. That is also correct. Scheme is heavily dependent on government funding. It is not heavily dependent on government funding, RDI. 70% funding will come from private sector. So third is wrong. The answer is A, 1 and 2 only, as stated by so many of you, right? Cool. So many people answered it. Who answered it? Amal, Anuj, Jivayan, Abhay, Swastika, Rishi, Shashmita, Shiparna, Shaida. Oh my God, so many people. Cool. Let's focus. Let's go to the second article of the day, which is there on page number 12. Our Honorable PM Sir giving Jadoo ki Jhappi, le le to abhi. So PM Sir loves to give Jadoo ki Jhappi. And here we will talk about India-Brazil partnership relationship. That will include certain words like IBSA. Again, important from GS2 international relation perspective. And again, whenever you talk about any kind of relationship, let's say India-Brazil relationship, you have to focus on the pestle analysis. Pestle means you have to break it into different dimension. What is the political dimension of India-Brazil relationship? This is one excuse. Our Honorable PM Sir has gone to Brazil. There also he has won a medal. He will be given the highest state honor. So wherever he goes, he gets the highest state honor. That is the aura of our Honorable PM Sir. We should be proud of it, and we are. So India-Brazil relationship, if we talk about the political significance of it, so they are part of, like India and Brazil, they are part of BRICS, BRICS, they are part of IPSA, they are part of India, Brazil, South Africa. IPSA came into picture around 2003. They are part of G20. Then Brazil supports India's UNSC permanent fixture, that India wants to become a permanent member in UNSC. So all these things, they are two major players of Global South. In the previous Hindu analysis, we have talked about what is Global South. Global South, countries of South America, Africa, some Asian countries which are developing or less developed. So we are, the leaders of Global South. Politically speaking. Economically, if we talk about India-Brazil relationship, by 22-23, our trade relationship has exceeded like $15 billion, and we want to, by 2030, we want to extend it to $20 billion. So all these things in economy part. And then cultural part, if we talk about people-to-people interaction, we don't have a huge diaspora in Brazil, but we have a significant presence, like good amount, not that huge like in West Asia or US, but yes, sizable portion is there. Plus, now even Brazil is talking about implementing UPI, Unified Payment Interface. So all these things you have to divide it. Always remember, we are reading it from UPSC mains perspective. Pre is just a part of it. So you have to divide your answer into different domain, and this will be true for any relationship: India, China, India, Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh. So what is the news all about? India and Brazil argue that again. Here they are doing the Bol Bachchan part, bilateral talk in Brasilia. Remember one thing: Brazil's capital is not Rio de Janeiro; it's Brasilia. Many people have this particular confusion. Rio de Janeiro is the capital. No, it is not. Okay, sir. Then they are like, hugging each other. They are saying good things about each other. Global cooperation. Blah blah blah. Read it. The thing is, we have to focus on the different points which we have just discussed. Stability in uncertain times. Again, if we are talking about India-Brazil relationship, they agree on the terror part, like terrorism. And Brazil supports India's stance on terrorism. Like we talk about in the previous Hindu analysis, we have talked about OIC countries, Organization of Islamic Cooperation. India and OIC countries, they don't converge on the definition of terrorism, because for many OIC countries, people who are there in Kashmir, they are freedom fighters, But India and Brazil, they are converging on the definition of terrorism. This is also one point which you have to keep in mind. So again, zero tolerance on terrorism, that is what is written here. State honor for Modi. Again, Modi sir, he has got Grand Collar of the National Order of the Southern Cross. Oh my God. Again, not that important from UPSC perspective. They don't ask these things. God forbid from next year. When I say they don't ask from next year, they can start. Like they are very unpredictable. Up until now, they have not asked these kind of things. Like Grand Collar of the National Order of the Southern Cross is an award of which country? But for other exams, this is actually important. Okay. Modi sir, I think, went to Trinidad and Tobago. There also he got medal, So awesome. So economic cooperation, as we were discussing, our bilateral trade with Brazil has crossed $15 billion in 22-23, and we want to exceed it like beyond $20 billion by 2030. So that is the aim actually. 6th agreement has been signed, renewable energy, you can see all these things. Intellectual property, agriculture, blah, blah, blah. Now, let's focus on the important part. India, like here again, in the economy or technology part, you can talk about this. Trinidad and Tobago, I think they are also implementing UPI, Unified Payment Interface, created by NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. This whole UPI creation happened around 2016. NPCI was created in, these are the facts which are important. 2016, NPCI created around 2008. NPCI also created something known as Rupee card. So do remember these. UPSC has already asked PYQs. We'll solve these PYQs. You will see at the end, by the end, we'll solve these PYQs which has been asked by UPSC. In Ghana also, he got the highest state honor. Oh my God. It's 26 global award. See, these many medals we also don't win in Olympics. How many global award Modi sir has got? So please focus here, sir. Unified Payment Interface. Unified Payment Interface, it has two factors of authentication. All these things are important. Multiple questions have been asked related to UPI and NPCI. Two factors of authentication. What are those two factors? Mobile phone and UPI PIN. Those are two factors. UPI was created, basically, they thought that digital payment system, all these, Google Pay, etc., you don't have to install it. You can just install the UPI app and it will link different bank accounts and you can pay. And that is happening. But these digital payments systems, they are so smart that they also incorporated UPI within themselves. So even though the basic aim was these digital payment gateways will go away, Google Pay, etc., they are still there, but they have integrated UPI. Okay, sir. BRICS context. Again, BRICS summit will be happening in Rio de Janeiro, as somebody was saying. 17th BRICS summit, Saida was saying. Awesome. India-Brazil relationship overview, divided into different parts, political dimension, economic, as we have discussed. Historical, 1948, 1 year after India's independence. Brazil got independence very early, 1822. So, after 1 year after India's independence, we had established a relationship, political and all those stuff. BRICS, G20, IPSA, India, Brazil, South Africa, 2003. Then, UNSC Security Council reform, India and Brazil back each other. So, they are good friends. Like Brazil is a good friend. Not awesome friend like Russia, but a good friend. So, bilateral trade exceeded $15 billion 22-23 with a goal to reach $20 billion by 2030. We have discussed all these factors. In different areas, we are cooperating. Have a look at this. And this is a new development. India's UPI. This is actually an achievement of India's soft power. UPI being adopted in different parts of the country. When you talk about soft power, you talk about India's yoga. Yoga. Humse nahi hoga. That means yoga, I will do it. So, yoga, International Yoga Day. So, again, yoga being celebrated all over the world. We are celebrating International Yoga Day. That is a celebration of India's soft power. And now you can also include UPI in it. UPI is being adopted by so many different countries. That shows the success of NPCI. And I think UPI has been adopted in 9 countries. Like, do check that out, the number. But yes, more and more countries are adopting it, Rishi. So you are correct. Now let's solve some question. MCQ 3. The term technology readiness level was originally developed by, this is a point from the previous article which we have discussed. And yes, if you feel like I'm contributing anything to your knowledge base, like, share, subscribe, kill it. Oh my God. So technology readiness level TRL was originally developed by whom? NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, which we are discussing in that RDI scheme. Very good. Amal, Jivayan, Abhay, Anandu, Swastika, Shayada, Shriparna, Rishi, Shashmita, Mamta. In our time, there used to be an actress. Her name was Mamta Kulkarni. Very good actress. Then she got involved with Underworld or something. Again, I'm not sure. I take that words. To take those words back. MCQ 4. Consider the following statement regarding India-Brazil cooperation. Himani has also given the answer. I have trimmed my beard. Does my beard look trimmed? I felt like it was too big. So I told barber uncle to cut it short. Both countries are working towards integrating India's UPI in Brazil. Who has answered it? Amal has answered it. Amal, Swastika, Rishi, Shashmita, Himani, Sharon, Abhay, Jivayan, Vatshayan, Anandu. So yes, first is correct. They are working towards integrating India's UPI. Second is correct. IPSA. India, Brazil, South Africa, 2003. Brazil is not a member of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. No, 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 no. Brazil is not a member of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now, remember how many countries are there in Shanghai Cooperation Organization? Which was the last country which joined Shanghai Cooperation Organization? Was it Belarus, or after Belarus also some other countries joined? So this is your homework. Third is wrong. If you eliminate third, you get the answer. That is A. 1 and 2 only, as stated by Rishi. Before that, so many people: Sashmita, Himani, Abhay, Jivain, Anandu, Mamta, Shahida, Sriparna, Rishi, Sagar Kiran, Rajneesh. Awesome. A is the answer. A. Let's focus on the third article of the day, page number 6. UPSC has already asked question on hornbill. Rare great hornbill sighting in Ijimala sparks renewed calls for biodiversity conservation. Again, more than the article, we are focused on the keywords. So what are the keywords here? Great hornbill. Has a UPSC already asked PYQ on it? The answer is yes. What is the other keyword here? Great hornbill included under WPA 1972 Schedule 1. Has UPSC already asked question on WPA Wildlife Protection Act? The answer is yes. Then what is the IUCN status of great hornbill? Endangered. Has UPSC already asked questions on IUCN? The answer is yes. So you can understand from various perspectives this particular article becomes important. Sometimes the size of article is small, but their utility is so much larger. This is one such article. So what has happened? Why we are reading about this cutie pie, great hornbill? We are reading about it. Brazil is not member of SCO. 10 countries in SCO, just like BRICS plus. Belarus is the last to join. Okay, let's focus here. So why we are reading it? See, great hornbill. We celebrate Hornbill Festival. Where do we celebrate Hornbill Festival? There are so many confusing points in this article, so pay attention. Where do we celebrate Hornbill Festival? Which particular state in our country celebrates Hornbill Festival? Write it in the comment section. So that is a state of Northeast India. So generally people get confused. Hornbill, Northeast India, no. Hornbill is found in Western Ghats also. That was the UPSC PYQ, solve that question. Is found in Western Ghats too, Northeastern India too, and Southeast Asia as well. So hornbill. And this news is not about Northeast India, this news is about Kerala. It is also Kerala state bird, this rare great hornbill. Even in hornbill, you have different variants. As Sagar and Anuj, they are saying, Nagaland, Sashmita, Jivain, they are saying. So what has happened in Kerala, in different types of forest, deciduous forest, etc., these rare great hornbill, they are found. But a rare thing has happened. A rare thing is what? They are found in the coastal areas. They are generally not found in coastal areas. They are found in the forested region. So this is an anomaly. That also shows the purity of that coastal region. Generally, they are found in that area which is ecologically dense, which is ecologically, you can understand when pollution increases, the flora and fauna is impacted. So if flora and fauna is found in a particular region, that means pollution of that particular region is lesser. That means ecological so-called purity of that particular region is greater. So that also shows that the coastal areas of Kerala is also awesome. Keralam. Naga tribe celebrated. Very good. So this is the news. Mala Mujaki Bijam, again, great hornbill. I will not go into the Malayali word because, So Kerala state bird in, I think, 2016, UPSC has asked which is the state butterfly of Maharashtra or something like that. So please, sir, this is also important. If it is in news, they can ask you, what is the state bird of Kerala? More important, IUCN, what is the status? Endangered species. What is IUCN? UPSC has asked PYQs on it. It's an NGO, international NGO, established around 1948. Its headquarters is in Gland, Switzerland. Generally, you have headquarters in Geneva, Vienna, etc. But it's not there. It was formed in France. Headquarters is in Gland, Switzerland. So remember these things, very important. Oh my God. Amal bro, Ivadanu Vidu. Very good. So let's focus here. So location spotted in the coastal belt, and they are generally not found in this region, coastal region, and that's why it's a unique phenomena. First observed on May 24. Again, you can read this. They are birds which feeds on fruits. So there is a word also specifically used for that birds who feeds on fruits, mainly fruits. It doesn't mean they will not eat small insect or this and that. They sometimes eat small animals, mammals, small animals, but generally feed on fruits. Hornbill. Looks how cute that beak is. Okay, let's focus. So identification, individual, again you can see all these things. Behavior and duration. Foraging in fruit-bearing trees, they feed on fruits. They love fruits. I love mango, but I have stopped eating mango these days because I've heard mango helps you in gaining weight. That is not the purpose of mine right now. I have to lose weight, so I've started eating apple. Okay, let's focus, bros. So typical habitat, they are generally not found in the coastal areas, and that's why this is a unique thing which has happened. They are restricted to Kerala's evergreen and moist deciduous forest, Silent Valley, and they have given the examples. Hello, Praveen. So let's focus on the other part. So ecological indicator, local. Now, as we have discussed, if you are finding, great hornbill in a region apart from their local habitat, that shows the purity of that particular region also. So that is what ecological indicator, ecological niche. These are the words you hear in environmental lot rather. Local experts held the sighting as evidence of the region's biodiversity and ecological richness despite human habitation. I, in general, have a biasness towards Kerala. I don't know why. I'm not a communist. Please don't label me that. Many people have already labeled me that. But I generally love Kerala. I don't know why. I have a soft spot for Kerala. I have not been there. I so want to go there. So calls for research. Again, they're saying that we have to now research why this has happened. Why this so-called good anomaly has happened. They have moved to coastal areas. So what is the basic impact of this? Environmental pollution wise and all the other aspects. Cool. Conservation implications. Citing has renewed call. You can read this thing. Now, important point. Wildlife Protection Act. Please understand, sir, we are not reading it from story perspective. We are reading it from exam perspective. WPA, when was it passed? 1972. Similarly, you have to read about like Project Tiger, Project Elephant, where they passed. We have talked about this multiple times. Environmental Protection Act, when was it passed? Schedule 1. How many schedules are there under WPA? 6 schedules. Has UPSC already asked PYQ on WPA? The answer is yes. Not one, but multiple PYQs they have asked on WPA. So all these things are very important from exam perspective. So how many schedules under WPA? 6 schedules. Schedule 1 and 2, maximum protection. So this particular great hornbill is under Schedule 1, maximum protection. 3 and 4, lesser protection. Schedule 5, vermins. Vermins, animals which can be culled. Culled means they can be killed. And then you have Schedule 6. Which is about prohibited plants. Those plants cannot be cultivated until or unless you take permission. As we have discussed, gangs of Wasipur, permission leni chahiye thi. You should take permission if you want to cultivate those plants. Schedule 6. So remember these schedules, very important. Okay, sir. And this is IUCN Red Data Book, where they categorize not only animals but even plants, flora and fauna both. There are different categories, EX, EW, you can see here. Extinct, extinct in the wild, critically endangered. Our great hornbill lies here in the endangered category. So very important. Okay, so where were we? Vulnerable, anti, least concerned, data deficient, any not evaluated. So these are the different criteria. These are the meaning of these criteria. Have a look at it because you will be solving one MCQ based on this particular slide. Cool. Let's solve 5th MCQ of the day, which is related to previous article which we have done. Shahida, Tahreer, Fatima. Which of the following organization is responsible for development and operation of UPI in India? Who developed UPI? Chepandis. Anandu, Abhay, Jivayan, Shriparna, Shahida, Amal, Jayesh, Rishi, Mamta, Swastika. Swastika? Nice name. Rajneesh, Himani. So the answer is NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. If I'm not wrong, 2016 UPI. And NPCI itself was created in 2008, RBI plus IBA. All these are PYQs. Please don't forget them. MCQ 6 of the day. Consider the following statement about great hornbill. It is found only in Kerala. It primarily feeds on fruits. It is listed as endangered in the IUCN Red List. Shahida has given the answer. Jivayan, Shriparna, Anandu, Amal, Swastika, Anuj. Is it only found only in Kerala? Then why are we celebrating Hornbill Festival in Nagaland? So it's found in, I have told you, Western Ghats, Northeast India, Southeast Asia, not only in Kerala, Saran ma'am. So first is wrong. If your first is wrong, then you get the answer, that is C, 2 and 3 only. Why so many people said D, bro? Why? Chipandis, why? So C is the answer. C. First is wrong. So eliminate A, B and D. You're left with C. C. MCQ 7. Which of the following categories does not exist in the IUCN Red List? Critically endangered, near threatened, extinct in the wild, not endangered. Only whenever you have only related statement, pay specific attention or to that particular statement. That is actually important. Which of the following categories does not exist in the IUCN Red List? So you have critically endangered, yes. You have near threatened, yes. You have extinct in the wild, yes. You don't have not endangered. You have endangered, but not, oh my God, not endangered. So D is the answer. So D. They're asking the not part only. So D is the answer. As stated by so many of you. Sriparna, Swastika, Mamta, Shayada, Himani, Rajneesh, Jivayan, Jesh, Amal, Anandu, Anuj, Rishi. Very good. Yes, sir, as I have stated, if you feel like I'm contributing in any way to your knowledge, like, share, subscribe, kill it. Okay, let's move on. Let's come to the next article of the day. Page 14, nearly 600 Eklavya school students cracked IT JEE NET, says Tribal Affairs Ministry. Again, awesome. We are so proud of these 600 students. But from exam perspective, what is important? Eklavya Model Residential School. What is this, EMRS? Under which particular ministry? That is fine. Are they catering to only tribal students? The answer is no. What is PVTG? Particularly vulnerable tribal group. How many PVTGs we have? Has UPSC already asked question on PVTGs? The answer is yes. So there are so many again keywords which are involved here. Again, you will see one more particular keyword which will come. So we have to pay attention to the keyword. This article is just an excuse for us to read about Eklavya Model Residential School and other related terms which has been asked by UPSC earlier. Fine. So again, as you can see here, student achievement, and this is the first such, oh my God, this is first such assessment done. Up until now, they have not done this assessment. How many people were clearing, etc. Maybe even earlier people were clearing. The people who were part of this Eklavya Model Residential School. See, the basic premise of these schools are, they are run from class 6 to class 12, mainly for tribal students. Pay attention to the word mainly. More than 80% of the people they are catering to students, they are catering to are tribal. But not all. There can be some non-tribal student as well. But the motto is to help tribal people because, they have their own culture and all those things. So sometimes we have to bring them into the mainstream arena. And this Eklavya Model Residential School is one way of doing that. Cool, sir. 75 PVTGs as stated by Shayada, particularly vulnerable tribal group. What are the 5 different criterias of PVTG? So there are so many terms, very, very important from exam perspective here. 600 students, they have cleared it, includes students from, you can see, different states. We are very, very proud of that fact, but we have to extract information from UPSC perspective here. So again, these are some factual information. Remember, this is first time such data has been compiled. Anything first is very important. Your first love, your first crush, your first looking someone from your window, all these first are important. Similarly, first time such data on EMRS students. Eklavya Model Residential School students, how many they have? Like how many of them have cracked IT JEE Mains, Advanced? I'm so confused in these things. In our time, when I did, and I did BTech from NIT Agartala 2009 to 2013. In our time, there used to be exam called IIT, which is still there, then AIEEE. I still don't understand. I can easily understand. I just don't want to. I want to live in my own nostalgia. What is JEE Mains, JEE Advanced? I'm like, mine was much better. IIT, AIEEE. Maybe you can agree to disagree with me because we are from different generation. Let's focus here. So coaching support, the success is attributed to coaching centers partnered with NEST. Now again, there is a keyword here. What is NEST? What is the basic meaning of NEST here? So you have to understand it from that perspective that Ministry of Tribal Affairs, they are looking under this Eklavya Model Residential School. Ministry of Tribal Affairs has so many things to do. Earlier also we have talked about Janjatiya Abha, Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan. There are so many things which they are dealing with. So what they have done, they have created a specific entity. which will look into the working of Eklavya Model Residential School. That particular entity whose main work is to look into the affairs of Eklavya Model Residential School is NEST, National Education Society for Tribal Students, created under Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So remember these keywords, they are actually very important. Okay. So now, EMRS, let's talk about EMRS, let's talk about PVTGs, let's talk about 5 different criteria of PVTGs. All these things are important from exam perspective, already asked by UPSC. So EMRS, flagship scheme of Tribal Affairs Ministry, Eklavya Model Residential School, serving mainly, not only, mainly is different from only. More than 80%, approximately 85% are tribal students, 15% non-tribal. They are catering to particularly vulnerable tribal groups. So these particularly vulnerable tribal groups, what they are? In 1970s, it was realized that within tribal group also there are certain tribal groups which are more primitive than the others, and if we don't protect them, maybe sooner rather than later they will go extinct. So we have to protect them and their culture. There come the picture of this particularly vulnerable tribal group. They were earlier known as I think primitive tribal group. Around 2006 or in 2000s they were named as PVTG, particularly vulnerable tribal group. Sir, ये CLAT के लिए भी सही है क्या? Anything. Current affairs, mainly for UPSC, but again, if it is catering to UPSC PIL, it will cater to anything and everything. Scholarship outreach plan, again, Tribal Affairs Ministry plans a special outreach to guide these students through available post-matric scholarship. You can read all these things. I will tell you what are the things which you have to focus on. Ministerial recognition, Jual Oram sir. From other exam perspective, these ministers' name, they are important. From UPSC perspective, they don't ask you the minister's name. Okay. Now, important thing. Eklavya Model Residential School. We have talked about it. What is the basic criteria? Mainly catering to tribal students. Not only, mainly. Started in 1997-98. Special body. We have also talked about what is this nest all about. What is the basic premise of this nest? Okay, so National Education Society for Tribal Students, created to oversee and centralize the administration of these schools, because Ministry of Tribal Affairs, they have so many things to do, so they have created a separate body to look into the functioning of EMRS schools. Then the other keyword, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, they are catered by these Eklavya Model Residential School. There has to be 5 criteria which these PVTGs has to be satisfied. In 18 state, 1 union territory, you have 75 PVTGs. UPSC has already asked how many PVT, like which state has maximum PVTG or what. So Odisha has maximum PVTGs. So key characteristic, pre-agricultural level of technology. So again, the practices which we are doing currently, agricultural practices, it has to be primitive than that, shifting, etc. Literacy rate low, population small. They can give you in some that population has to be high. No, it has to be small. Economic backwardness, geographical isolation. So these 5 criteria, you have to remember them. They are very important from exam perspective, has already been asked in, many exam. Heard about it when National EMRS Games were held in Hyderabad in 2019. Very good, Shahida. Shahida is a good girl. And number and distribution, as we have discussed, 75 PVTGs, very important. UPSC has asked questions. 18 state, 1 union territory. They are not there in all the states. They can give you that PVTGs are there in all the states. That is a lie, big fat lie. Highest PVTG population, Odisha. Highest PVTG tribes, Odisha, and then Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, etc. Let's solve some question. MCQ 8 of the day, based on the previous article. With reference to IUCN, consider the following statement. It is a UN body headquartered in Geneva. It publishes a red list of threatened species. The great hornbill is categorized as vulnerable in the IUCN red list. So, it is not a UN body. It's not a UN body. It's an NGO which is headquartered in Gland, Switzerland. Created in late 1940s in France, headquarters is in Gland, Switzerland. So first is wrong, right? So if first is wrong, C gone, D gone, you're left with A and B. It publishes red list of threatened species, yes. So second has to be correct, so the answer is A. Great hornbill is categorized as vulnerable, no, endangered. It's categorized as endangered. So the answer is B, 3 only. Very good. Who? 3 only. B, sorry, A, 2 only. B, second is wrong, right? Third is wrong. So A, 2 only. Who stated it? So many people stated it. And Swastika, Abhay, Anandu, Sagar, Jivayan, Anuj, Rishi, Himani, Mamta, Shaida, Shiparna, Shashmita. Not in Geneva, it's in Switzerland. Cool. A, 2 only. MCQ 9. Which of the following criteria are used to identify PVTGs in India? Pre-agricultural level of technology, low literacy rate, rapid population growth, economic backwardness. So J, Shaida, Anandu, Shiparna, Amal, Shruti, Narinal, Shruti, Abhay, Himani, Rishi, Sagar. So pre-agricultural level of technology, yes. So first has to be there. So B is gone. Low literacy rate, yes. Second has to be there. So C is gone. Rapid population growth, no. Low population growth. So third is wrong. Eliminate third. You're left with A. 1, 2 and 4. As stated by so many of you. And Shruti, Abhay, Himani, Rishi, Sagar, Swastika, Shashmita, Anuj, Mamta. MCQ 10. Which of the following statement are true about PVTGs? They have been identified in all Indian states. They are eligible for special government scheme under Ministry of Tribal Affairs. They usually live in geographically isolated region. 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, all of the above. So they have not been identified in all Indian states. When we were reading it, 75 PVTGs, and if I'm not wrong, 18 state, 1 union territory, not all. Even if you don't remember the exact 18 state, 1 union territory, Andaman, etc. You eliminate first, you get the answer, that is B, 2 and 3 only, as stated by so many of you. Starting from Amal, Sagar, Jesh, Rishi, Jivayan, Shiparna, Shaida, Anandu, Swastika, Abhay, Shruti, Narinal, Himani, Shashmita, Mamta, Anuj. Very good. B is the answer? Yes, B is the answer. Let's move on to the next article of the day, which is there on page number 20, Science 2, aerial view of structure of on Nyangai Island on April 30. Sierra Leone Islanders despair as rising ocean threatens survival. Now again, there are some keywords important from geography and IR perspective, especially geography. This particular island, Nyangai Island, will be submerged soon. Again, important from environment perspective also, rising sea level, global warming. So this Nyangai Island, whenever you're writing any answer, mains answer related to global warming, rising sea level, you can give example of this particular Nyangai Island. Where is this Nyangai Island? Sierra Leone, in Sierra Leone. Where is Sierra Leone? It's a country of West Africa and on the western coast, like in the coastal region of Atlantic Ocean. One of the poorest countries in the world, Sierra Leone. And first of all, we have to understand the location also. We'll talk about this issue. But more than the issue, the location part is important. Again, there are different dimensions to this article. So Sierra Leone is this. It was also, I think, suffering from Ebola virus. UPSC has already asked questions on Sierra Leone earlier. So as you can see, Sierra Leone, Freetown is the capital, Guinea and Liberia. These are the two neighboring countries, West Africa on the Atlantic Ocean coast. Now Nyangai Island we are talking about. So this is Nyangai Island on Nyangai place on Turtle Island, which is there in Sierra Leone. Again, you can get confused. Many people are like Sierra Leone is in, near Australia, this and that. No. And this is the location. Keep in mind the location. They can ask you. Nyangai is, closer to or is located on Atlantic Ocean coast, Pacific Ocean coast, Indian Ocean coast, blah, blah, blah. And where is Sierra Leone? Again, questions have been asked on Sierra Leone or Leone. So it's important. So what is happening here? As we have discussed, rising ocean level, and they will be soon under water. They will be soon submerged. Only under minus UT. Okay. So the article focuses on Nyangai, an island in Turtle Islands of southern Sierra Leone, which is severely affected by rising sea level. So again, here there are different accounts of different people who are saying what is happening to this region. Slowly and gradually, things are going underwater. Impact of climate change, rising Atlantic waters are eating away at the island. So if we talk about from pre-perspective, you have to remember where it is located, on which particular coast, where is Sierra Leone. From pre-perspective, geography. From mains perspective, an example of climate change, an explicit example of climate change. There are some people like Donald Trump who don't believe in this climate change concept, that no, it's a gradual phenomena, it's a natural phenomena according to Orange Man, Tariff Man, Donald Trump. And his rationale is also not like very unscientific. There is a reason for it. Like see, in earlier time what used to happen, Stone Age, etc., there was a cyclical thing which happened, like you have a warm age, then you have ice age, then again warm age, then ice age. So Trump's rationale is revolving around that particular fact that we have this thing in a cyclical manner, like you have warm age, then ice age, and again same way. So this is the warm age we are going through. So global warming is a facade, climate change is a facade, and there will be a time when we'll have again an ice age. So what is your rationale to this Orange Man's view, Tariff Man view, that this is all sequential? This is a warm phase and then we'll have an ice age. So there is nothing called climate change, nothing called global warming. So Nyangai can put a rest to those claims of Orange Man or Tariff Man. Do you agree in Donald Trump's, like with Donald Trump's view that, climate change is a facade? We are going through the warm phase of all this, climatic cycle, and sooner we will have an ice age. Any view on this? Shaida, Shriparna, Anuj, Mamta, Shashmita, Himani, Shruti, Abhay, Swastika, Anandu, and others, because I know you all love Donald Trump. Who doesn't? He is one of the cutest looking guy on this planet Earth. But apart from cuteness, there has to be rationale also when you are saying certain stuff. Oh my God. So Sierra Leone, please keep it in mind, important. And Nyangai Island, Nyangai located on Turtle Island in Sierra Leone, important. Generally what happens when you think about these islands, you will not think about Africa. You generally think about, islands between North America and South America, islands above Australia. So that's why this Turtle Island becomes unique, because if you don't know it, you cannot guess it. That on West African front, near Atlantic, you have this island which will be soon submerged. I think he hasn't. Get this man a Nobel Prize. Yes. And I think we should give Donald Trump a Nobel Prize. I think he hasn't attended geography class. I think Shaida does not like Donald Trump. I love Donald Trump. Exactly. Who doesn't? Look at his orange face and everything. Okay, let's focus. In less than 10 years, this island has lost. We are talking about, this particular island in Sierra Leone. It has lost 2/3 of its land. It now measures only, again, you don't have to measure the length and breadth. It's just to tell you how much it has suffered, this particular island. Population has decreased from 1,000 to fewer than 300. This particular article is saying not only Nyangai in Turtle Island, in fact, Sierra Leone and many of the coastal areas, or much of the coastal area of Sierra Leone, they will be impacted by global warming and the rising sea level. So, and this is anyway one of the poorest country in the world we are talking about. So many things has to be done by different entities, UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. They say a lot of stuff, do a lot less of those stuff. Okay, sir, living condition, overcrowding, lack of potable water, no, you can see all these things. The basic premises for you to remember it from geography and environment, both perspective. Authorities and international organizations have not provided significant aid, only recommending relocation. It's all like, if you are poor, nobody will take care of you. If you are rich, everybody is with you. True for personal relations as well. Same thing is happening with Sierra Leone and this particular Turtle Island and Nyangai. So wider threat, June 2024 study warns that over 2 million coastal residents in Sierra Leone. It's not only about Turtle Island, Nyangai, it's about Sierra Leone as a whole. 20 lakh people are at risk from rising sea. So Donald Trump, this is a justification that global warming is not a hoax. And let's move on here. So community voice, again, there are many people, you can read all these things. We have talked about the basic point of view of this article. Let's solve some questions. Donald Trump speaks without thinking or without any filter. He says whatever comes to his mind. Shouldn't we all be like that, Rishi? We should not be thinking too much. We should all be like kids. Say whatever you want to say. That's why. Absolutely, yes, sir. He's 100%. He doesn't agree. He's going to have Peace Prize. So, Donald Trump for Peace Prize, Nobel Peace Prize. Let's see. Sierra Leone share its border with which of the following countries? Guinea, Ghana, Liberia, Ivory Coast. Jivayan, who is the brother of Vatsayan, who wrote Kama Sutra, has given the answer. Many people, they use this talk about that particular book in bad sense, but that is not actually a bad book if you read about it. Such an awesome name you have, Jivayan, yaar. Such an awesome historical, cultural name you have, Jivayan. So awesome. So yes, Sierra Leone, we have seen the map. Guinea and Liberia, D 1 and 3 only, as first stated by Jivayan, then Anandu, Rishi, Anuj, Shaida, Amal, Jesh, Mamta, Shriparna, Shashmita. Awesome, very good. D 1 and 3 only. Sister of Vatsayan. Oh, Jivayan is a girl. Okay, sister of Vatsayan. Let's focus here. MCQ 12. Eklavya model residential school are designed primarily for which of the following groups? Scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, economically weaker section. Welcome, Jivayan. Eklavya model residential school. The difference is, sir, Donald Trump is a rich kid who has absolute power to destroy the world, right? So the answer is EMRS scheduled tribe B. MCQ 13, Nyangai Island, recently in the news for climate-induced displacement, is located in Caribbean Sea, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean. There's one article also today in Hindu, on science page only, where this Nyangai Island is, which is related to CRISPR-Cas9. I'm just telling you right now only. They talk about, introducing this CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing technology to introduce the quality of rice and all those things. We don't have to go into the intricacies of that article. Just remember, CRISPR-Cas9 is a gene editing technology. So gene editing means, let's say you have a faulty mitochondria or anything like that. If you have a faulty gene, some portion of your gene will be replaced by some other attributes or some other thing. So gene editing technology. We'll talk about CRISPR-Cas9 in detail later on. For now, just remember CRISPR-Cas9 is a gene editing technology and it is in a way facilitated by nanoparticles. We'll talk about nanoparticles also, science and tech, very important. Cool. For now, gene editing technology. So who has given the answer? So Nyangai Island located in Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, Atlantic Ocean. PYQ 14, UPSC 2017. Which of the following is the most likely consequence of implementing the Unified Payment Interface, UPI? Clustered, regularly interspaced, short, palindromic repeats. Very good, Jesh. So, Unified Payment Interface, we have talked about it when we were talking about India-Brazil relationship, how UPI is also acting as a soft power now, in addition to yoga and others. So, there we have talked about this. What is the basic, most likely consequence? So, you have to focus on the best option. Digital currency will totally replace extreme statement, eliminated. One, we have not eliminated, we are not sure about it. FDI inflows will drastically increase, extreme statement, eliminated. Direct transfer of subsidies to poor will become, the year 2017 when UPSC asked this question, people were confused in A and D. Direct transfer of subsidies to poor will become effective via JAM, Jandhan Aadhaar Mobile. That is the basic premise. The basic premise of UPI was, it has two factors of authentication. UPSC has asked multiple questions on UPI. We can solve them later on also. The basic premise is we don't need these mobile wallets because there was a time when Paytm was alleged to have used COVID period to amass a lot of wealth and all those things. So basic premise was you will not need mobile wallets. You can have just this UPI app. You can do transaction from any bank to any other bank. Almost every bank has UPI facility now. They use UPI. Two factors of authentication, your phone number, your UPI PIN. That is it. So A is the answer. Mobile wallets will not be necessary for online payments. Where do you work, Shashmita? Which hospital? What do you do? Oh, dad is hospitalized. Take care of dad, Shashmita. Everything else can wait. Family comes first. I can totally understand. So, Shriparna, Jivayan, Mamta, Rishi, Shayada, A is the answer. A and D both looks correct, but A is the most plausible option. सर करंट अफेयर्स के लिए कोई बुक भी ले या इससे काम चल जाए? दिस विल सफाइस पायल. Just for other static portion, you can take some other books. So it's, but for current affairs, this will be more than enough. Just follow it. Means there are certain editorials which will be articles which will be repeated. So yeah, that would be more than enough. You can supplement it with any current affair magazine, but not anything more than that. Even that is not needed. Okay, let's solve this PYQ asked in 2017. I personally feel Hindu in general has more better articles compared to Indian Express, although Indian Express explained section is good. But when you do the general rationale and compare and contrast, you will realize that Hindu has much better articles from different exam perspective than Indian Express. Then the other point is leftist, rightist and this and that agenda. So we are not going in that domain, but yes, Hindu is good, very good. And that's why sometimes when we do Hindu analysis, someday or the other, after 10-15 days, it feels like the brain will burst and you don't want to read Hindu or anything. Let's solve this question, sir and ma'am. Your father will be awesome soon, Shashmita, don't worry. Mamta is also saying good things to you. Okay, so National Payment Corporation of India helps in promoting financial inclusion. How? Because again, they have launched, we have discussed this when we're talking about National Payment Corporation, created around 2008 by RBI and IBA, International, Indian Bankers Association, something. 2008, NPCI, we have talked about it. Financial inclusion, they are trying to ensure the people in the hinterland or extreme backward regions, they are also able to access different services. Jan Dhan, Aadhaar, mobile, RuPay card, UPI, all these are ways of ensuring financial inclusion. In GS Mains Paper 3, you will read about inclusive growth of all sections of society, leaving no one behind. When you're talking about inclusive growth, you will talk about social inclusion, financial inclusion, political inclusion, economic inclusion. In financial inclusion, NPCI. They're making things much easier. I will give you one example. When you talk about mutual fund investment and this and that, so there are so many platforms. You directly go to UTI, mutual fund and do it. But why do people use Grow or Jirodha? Because they make things much easier. You trade on mutual fund on Grow and they make it childlike. Same thing goes for NPCI, UPI. They have made things very easier. You just enter your PIN, you enter your phone number, enter the password and the code which will be sent to you. That's it. Done. It doesn't matter how educated you are. Financial inclusion. They have launched RuPay. That is also correct. So the answer is C, both 1 and 2. And as stated by so many of you. Cool. C. So yes, sir, if you feel like I contributed to your knowledge in any way, like, share, subscribe, kill it. Share it with as many people as possible. We have to make it a movement. I will share this particular PDF along with the answer of these questions. I think we have done 15 now today. 2 PYQs and 13 MCQs in this Telegram channel. Fun Study with Shubh, because study should be fun. Also, you can share your marks, how many you got correct out of 15. We have done a lot of questions today. Also, sir and ma'am, if you are preparing for 26, 27, 28, you can join either of our batches, for 26, 27, 28. If you feel like you are having any doubt in your UPSC preparation, you're not able to streamline your preparation, you are not studying every day, you can have plethora of doubts, So for 2026, our batch has started, July batch has started from 7. Today is what? 9th, right? So it has started from day before yesterday. The admission for that particular July batch, which will be running from, I think 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., that is an evening batch. Admissions are closing on 15 July. After that, that batch which has started on 7th, that will be closed. Admissions will be closed. So you can use my code SHS Live. You can enroll in this particular batch. Admissions for which are closing on 15 July 2025. Also remember, if you are preparing for 27 or 28, if you're a beginner, you are in college, you are working professional, you're not thinking about giving UPSC for 2026, you can avail batch for 27-28. The benefit of joining any of these batches, be it of StudyIQ or anybody else, is it streamline your preparation. You don't have to run for sources for polity, economy, history, geography. Everything you can get at one place. 9,999 is not a lot of money when you talk about how much stupid expenses we people have. When we eat chili paneer or chili tandoori chicken and this and that, if you're eating tandoori chicken 8 or 9 times, this money is gone, even less than that, if the tandoori chicken is expensive. If you're a vegetarian, you can eat tandoori paneer. So you can understand what I'm saying here. If you feel like you don't have enough content for a particular subject, buy it. Prices are starting at 9,999. The prices will go on. There are different variants of the batch. So in 9,999, the batch which we are talking about, there you will get the videos of all the subjects, the notes you will get. Then the batches, the same batch of different variants. In that you will get test series, in some you will get mentorship. So all these things, in some you will get scholarship, and in some, if you clear UPSC pre-2026, all the money will be refunded. So it's totally up to you which variant you want to join for 26, 27 or 28. The only thing is, ideally, you should have some content, If you want to read economy, let's say you want to read about anything. I think Shashmita or someone was talking about PPP. Public-private partnership. PPP is also purchasing power parity. So if you want to read purchasing power parity or public-private partnership, and you want to know what are the current developments which are happening in those two domains, you can go to your videos, notes, and have a revision of it. They will also tell you which year what PYQs were asked in mains, and P means pre, and what can be asked in future as well. So that is the benefit when you join these batches. Again, I'm not telling this is only confined to StudyIQ. For any good institution batches, so generally they will tell you what to study, what not to study. What to study is fine, but even more than that, what not to study is very critical, because we run here, there, everywhere. So how you can join these 26, 27 or 28 batches? You will go to StudyIQ.com. You can also go to Google Play Store. You can download StudyIQ app. So that is one way. StudyIQ.com, go to all languages, go to English, oh my god. And here, this is the batch we are talking about, 36,999. There are different variants of it. One you can get at 9,999 also. And again, based on your choice, if you feel like you want mentorship, you want 75 plus prelims test, 12 mains test, you want scholarship, so you can go for different variant, not necessarily 9,999 or something. This is for 2026. If you want to go and join for 27, you will click on this, you will go to 27, you can join it. If you are preparing for 28, just click on this, 28. Let's focus on 26 right now, because that is the nearest, right? So this is 36,999. Buy now. Before going to buy now, look at all these features which I just told you, mentorship and all these things. I keep on telling people, any batch you join of any institution, trust that particular batch, trust that institution, trust their content. After that, don't keep on asking which NCERT I have to read, which chapters I have to read. All these things are generally included in these batches. The modules, the books which they will provide you, that will be more than enough. Just revise them multiple number of times. Else what happens? You read from 10 sources, you don't remember anything, and then you cry in pre or mains. Don't do that. So again, these are the features and how you can join it, how the prices will reduce. You will go to buy now. There are different variants of this, diamond, platinum and gold. This gold will reduce. No, I think the prices has increased, bro. Yes, the prices has increased by 1,000 from 7th. Okay, we'll see that. So all these things are there in diamond. And if you use my promo code, that is SHS Live, the prices will decrease by 7,000. If you use other code only for today or India, the prices will not decrease by, like it will, I think, decrease by 6,000. Let me see what else has changed from 7th. So if I apply it, see the prices are reduced by 7,000. So 29,999, and this platinum will become 24,999. Gold will become 10,999. Oh my god. So now 9,999 course has become 10,999. I was telling you people on 7th, the prices will increase. See, price has increased by 1,000. Oh my god. Okay, let's focus here. So you can see here, if you go to diamond, the prices are reduced by 7,000, 29,999. So these are the features. Scholarship, MRP, Mains Residential Program. I love this. I love MRP. This is going on currently for people who have cleared pre-2025 and who are preparing for mains 2025. Same will happen with you people when you will give, pre-2026, clear it and then prepare for mains 2026. One-to-one mentorship. All these things are there. Any queries related to any batch, call on this number 9240231070. You can give them my reference, Shubham Sagar. They will tell you what to do, and you can use my code which I have just told you. Platinum 24,999. All these things are there, excluding the scholarship part and all the monthly quiz top performer part. You will not get 11,000 every month if you top it. In the gold part, you have live classes, notes. If you don't need mentorship, scholarship, anything, you just need classes, proper classes for economy, polity, history, etc. and notes, that's it. Then you can go for gold. prices after using my code will reduce to 10,999. So that's how you have to join all these courses, sir and ma'am. And I think I have told you everything. Reading newspaper daily or just going through monthly magazine, which one is most preferred according to you? So Shaida, according to like you are attending Hindu analysis, so just attend this Hindu analysis, supplement it with current affair magazine. That's it. Monthly magazine with your class will be enough, more than enough, Shaida. Thank you, Shriparna. These classes are enough because all current affairs related to UPSC, Shubh sir cover everything. Okay, thank you, GYN, for your cute words. Shubh sir is covering every article of Hindu Daily, guys. Thank you, Shashmita. GYN, thank you, but I am a bit skeptical regarding monthly magazine or daily newspaper. Monthly magazine will suffice. I have made a video on how to read these monthly magazine, how to absorb textbook like a sponge, Oxford survey. You can Google it, Shaida, you will realize they're not tough. You can supplement it with monthly magazine. Utilize the time wisely, friend. Monthly magazine also include daily news, na? No. Monthly magazine, what they do, they summarize the whole month content, you know. So once you have got the basic idea, all these things are clear to you. When you go to monthly magazine, that's just like a revision for you. Good morning, Mithun. So I think we have done everything. We have discussed everything. So I will see you people tomorrow at 9 a.m. Take care. Be blessed.